InnerOrbit's assessment builder was designed so that you can build the most highly aligned three-dimensional assessments that exist. Our question types mimic state tests, and our reports and standards tagging allow you to see the exact element that students in your classroom, school, or district struggled with. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an assessment or upload a pre-existing assessment with our assessment builder. You'll start out by naming your phenomena. Search for performance expectations to connect the cluster of questions you're going to write to. In the box below, you'll input text and photos to help give context to and give students something they can apply what they've learned in your classroom. You can drag pictures over in the box on the right and then type in text or copy and paste it from the document into the text box here. We recommend using a GIF or GIF and a few sentences to provide some context so students understand the phenomena that they're investigating. In this space, you'll paste in questions that you've already written or type in new questions to assess students on the phenomena. Pay attention to the formatting guidelines on the right-hand side to make sure your multiple choice questions and free response questions or drawing questions are formatted properly. Once your questions are in, you'll need to choose which questions are free response or drawing questions. Click on the free response or drawing box to make sure they're correctly labeled. After that, you'll go through and mark which questions are the correct answers for the multiple choice questions by clicking on the checkbox. If you need to edit any of your answers, you can click on the answer choice or click on the question to edit the text there. For free response questions, you'll input bullet points as a grading criteria. We recommend adding between 1 and 3 bullet points to help graders understand what they're looking for when they're grading their assessment or to remind you what you need to look for when you're grading the assessment. After you enter grading criteria, you'll enter keywords or phrases that will be highlighted in student responses. If there are any keywords that you want to see in your students' responses, this is the space to add those in here. When you're reviewing student responses, the phrases and words that you've entered here will be highlighted in each student's response to help speed up grading. On the standards tagging page, you'll click to drop down the menu for each of the standards within the performance expectation you're tagging. Drag and drop parts of the standard that align to the question. Make this as accurate as possible. Our goal is that you can tag each question with a very precise element of a DCI, of a cross-cutting concept, or an SEP, and even the evidence statements to show that your question aligns to very deliberate and specific parts of each of these standards. In the next slide, you'll preview your assessment. Click here and go through the different questions to make sure they're formatted properly and you haven't made any errors with the text in the answer or question. Lastly, you'll go to the Publish page. You'll choose if you want the assessment to be private or to share it with teachers at your school, which we highly recommend. In addition, you can opt to make this assessment available to all InnerOrbit users. We will only make assessments available if they are three-dimensional and highly aligned to the standards. If you want the cluster to remain private, please click this down here. Lastly, choose if you want feedback on your assessment or not. InnerOrbit has created hundreds of highly aligned three-dimensional assessments, and we're happy to share our expertise with you. If you want to opt into this, click Yes, please give me feedback, and we'll follow up with our thoughts on the assessment and suggestions for improving it. If you'd like to opt out, just click No thanks, I'm fine without any feedback. And then click Publish My Cluster. Thanks for watching, and please let us know if you have questions or feedback in the little chat box in the bottom right-hand corner of the website.